Hey everyone, it's 𝗕𝗢𝗢𝗓𝗖𝗓 here. I'm a stage 3 bowel cancer survivor and a quantum health coach. And I help my clients to regain control of their health and life by changing their habits physically and emotionally so they can create peak performance and emotional mastery. And today I'm going to be talking about how being positive is actually a habit. It is really simple to think it is a habit, and we can think that this is not something that we can develop and grow into. And sometimes we don't even realize that we actually are not very positive at all. Myself included, before cancer, I didn't realize, I didn't really think positively when I was faced with, any situation. I would always think about the worst case scenario or with kind of a negative light. And, it wasn't my natural approach to see things in a positive way. I wasn't that person at all. And I realized that was just a habit that I needed to develop. It's a very simple habit, but it's so easy for us to dismiss that. When I was diagnosed with cancer, I realized that I had been a very negative person, and I really saw every situation in a negative light. And I remember I had a psychometric test to join a company. It was actually after that, they had accepted me, and they did a psychometric test just to profile each employee, so they could see where your strengths was. And I can't really remember the name of it. It was a very long time ago. And the lady who was explaining to me the results, she said to me, like, you have a tendency to take things down to the kind of negative side of things, and I see this often, she mentioned to me. This was when I was back in New Zealand, with people that come from third world countries. I come from Brazil, and I was living in New Zealand at the time, and I thought that was really interesting. And, when I started changing my habits, I realized that, indeed, we have a very pessimist worldview in Brazil because, we've got issues in the economy, in the government, the corruption, and there is so much going on out there that, when people talk about, things in general, they do have this very pessimistic view on, how the future is going to look like, or, what are the chances of things to getting better. But of course, if you grow up with that, you start, having this habit in all areas of your life. And anything that you come across, you start, thinking about, the worst case scenario, and thinking negatively about it, and, having this pessimistic view on every subject. And during cancer treatment, I couldn't really afford to be that person anymore. I had an emergency surgery and 12 sessions of chemo session that I had to go through. And really keeping that positive mindset was absolutely key for, the results that I have achieved. I finished 12 sessions of chemotherapy feeling stronger than I started. And I did that because I kept myself at a very high vibration most of the time. I couldn't afford to have a pessimistic worldview every time that I had the delay in my treatment. I couldn't have, a pessimistic view when I had an issue with my PEEK line, or when I had, a sore throat and I had to take antibiotics during chemo. So I had, in every circumstances, I had to really change my mindset from looking at the worst case scenario to the best case scenario. And the way that I kept doing, this redirection was when I was to have, like, a terrible day, I used to say to myself, tomorrow will be a better day. And it certainly was. And day by day, I kept really practicing this mindfulness of really thinking, of really being aware of what I was thinking, and redirecting my thoughts to thinking, I don't need to think about the worst case scenario, because guess what? Things are going to work out for me. And they did. After my treatment, I had gone back to work, and one day I asked my husband, who did all the work with me, the changing all the habits physically and emotionally, which was really beautiful. I asked him, what's the first thought you think when you wake up? We had done a ton of work already. And he said to me, like, I think, oh my God, here we go again, another day. And he said, what about you? I said, I don't know. I think my mind is a bit confused in what to think. That's exactly what I thought. But now my mind is like, what do you think now? And I feel that, everything we do is a habit. There is a lot of noise out there, of people talking about, lots of different magic pills and things that will transform your life. But at the core of it all, unless you start taking action and changing what you do each day, your habits, your life is not going to be transformed or changed. If you keep doing the same thing, you're just going to keep getting the same results. So for me, it was very much, I said to my husband, so why don't we try to, as soon as we wake up, we think to ourselves, I'm excited about today. Today is going to be a great day. And we started doing that, just this simple habit, to change our worldview, our habit of falling back into, here we go another day, because that was just a habit that we had been practicing, and we just needed to replace with a habit that was positive, that was not going to be harmful to us, that was going to add to our lives. So we started doing that, and guess what? We started getting up excited about the day, excited about life, and that it started becoming our habit. And that we started practicing that simple, awareness and that simple thought, and telling ourselves, today is going to be a great, great day, and we started feeling differently about it. So being positive, it is a habit. You might be thinking to yourself, yeah, I do have a tendency to see things in a negative light. So that's, awareness, it's the first step of change. So if you're aware of it, then, you know that every time you're faced with a situation, you can actually choose not to see things on a negative light. I have done that myself, so I know it's possible. Or you can simply do that on your, when you wake up, and choose to be excited for your day. Choose to have a great day. So being positive, it is a simple habit that can really change your life once you start becoming aware of it. You stop allowing the negativity out in the world, to get to you, to draw your energy down. You take control, and you stay balanced in the energy and the frequency that you want to have and live by. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, let me know. If you like, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.